welcome back. As always, this is Kondrik. As you saw in that little intro sequence, I spent a little bit of time enchanting some axes because I believe I have all the resources and materials together that I need in order to start the charcoal and lumber farm at spawn. So I just thought it might be a nice little way to start the intro by showing the fact that I was enchanting these, which is a Fortune 3, Efficiency 4, Unbreaking 3, Unbreaking 3, and Unbreaking 3, Efficiency 4. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to spawn, and we'll get started on the project. But first, I just wanted to show this Victor. One second, Victor. Yes, Victor. Left this. I was off mining with a Graphoniac, and he wanted to know where I was. I told him I was mining. He said he'd leave a chest for me, and inside the chest, Ender Catapult, Punch 2, Power 5 bow. I am going to enjoy that very much. Right now I've got Punch 1 and Power 2, so that's going to be changed. Thank you for making the Ender Bridge safe, or for making the bridge safe. I'm sure that he meant the Ender Bridge, because that's the only bridge that I've done any work on. But anyway, I have a couple more things I want to gather before I start the project. So I'm going to cut it here, and I will be back when I'm ready. Alright, back again. So it's actually been about a day, well, okay, maybe not a full day, but since the last section, I thought I was going to have a little bit more time to get everything ready, and then episode 2 accidentally went up before episode 1. So episode 1, which you guys will have already seen at this point, was scheduled for Monday. Episode 2 was supposed to be scheduled for Thursday, but for some reason it went up today, which is Sunday. So I actually am recording a little bit earlier than I intended to. This is the planned location for the charcoal and tree farm. This line here I have marked out. I'm going to have to terraform and move the staircase over a little bit, because the building is going to be centered on the lower path. So starting right here, and it is 11 wide. So yeah, let me just grab this real quick. So what I'm going to do is, I know this is a really short segment. There will be much more interesting stuff in the next section. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and clear out the space I need and lay down the beginning of the building. And I'll be back as soon as I have stuff in place. So I'll see you in a second. Alright, I am back, and it finally stopped raining. Alright, so I've got the entryway to the new building laid out. I've got space cleared out for what I need to do, and I have the materials I need in my inventory. So we're going to put this there, this there, and I will explain what I'm doing in a second. So we have 3 chests that I'm putting into this system. It actually only needs 2, but donation chest. Yay! Although I think I'm going to turn that just so it looks different from the others. So I know I'm probably only about 5 or 6 minutes into this episode, and I'm going to try to get the whole charcoal factory portion of this build done during this episode, although I may be fighting mobs for a large portion of it. We'll see. So what we've got right here is we have donation chest, wood chest, and charcoal chest. And what I'm going to do here is I need hoppers, and I have an extra, which is good. So I need to go like this, oops, that, and directly underneath of this hopper, I need my droppers. And I think I did this, yes, I dug it correctly. I messed around with this build, earlier today, the day I am recording, in my test world. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna have to. So I spent a good 2-3 hours working on this because there are plenty. Oh, I did that wrong. Oh, okay. I'm down. I'm too far up. I need to go down one more level on the ground. Yes, I need to go down one more level. Alright. So, yeah. A charcoal factory is actually a fairly simple build, and it can definitely be done a lot more compact than what I'm doing. But because I'm doing this on a server as a community build, I want to make it just a little bit more protected from accidental breakage, if that makes any sense. I'll explain in a second what I mean, or actually I'll just explain right now. So normally in a charcoal factory, you just have your input chest for logs and your output chest for charcoal. And you don't really have to worry about somebody putting the wrong item into the logs chest and accidentally clogging the system with something that doesn't belong in it. But even if everybody has the best intentions on a multiplayer server, people tend to... cat fuzz. People tend to get clogged inventories, and sometimes... whether they're trying to be mean or not, and usually not, they... Oops, I did that wrong again. They sometimes just dump whatever they can into a random nearby chest. And in the case of a charcoal factory, or an automated charcoal system, that can break the system because you can't turn anything except for logs into charcoal. So we need to make sure that only logs go into the system. Now, one nice thing about this though is that let's see here, I need to... Alright, so this is where the output from the furnace will go. Where's the furnace? Right here. Okay. I'm not explaining things well at all. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that what I've added to this system is a filter to make sure that the only thing going into the furnace... Oops, I did that wrong again. But it doesn't matter, I can adjust it. I have adjusted this system to have a filter on the log chest to make sure that only logs go into the top of the furnace. because, like I said, we need to make sure that we're not clogging the system with unwanted materials, like spider, like string or whatever, things that don't belong in the system. So what I've done with this is, actually I need that. Yeah, no, that's right. What I've done with this system is I've added in the standard sorting circuit, which I will show you, like so. Yep, that's right. And what that will do is, if we go like this, this, and that is all the hoppers I need. I did make one extra, but I don't really need it. And once this build is done, I will try to explain it in more detail. I'm trying to be efficient with my time. So, the standard sorting circuit is a hopper with whatever items you need set across it. So let's go like this. That worked. Okay. And redstone dust. Dust there, dust there. Repeater under here, and torch. So I'm sure a lot of people have already seen what this sorting circuit does, but just in case somebody hasn't, what I will do is grab some logs real quick. Let's see here. Where did I put them? There they are. Okay. So, what we have here is a redstone comparator that checks the contents of this top hopper here. And apparently I did something wrong. Oh, duh. Okay, there. So it checks the contents of this top hopper, and once the hopper is over a certain number of items, 19 plus 4, 23, once the hopper is over 23 items total, including these, or 18, okay, 22 items, then the redstone signal extends down far enough to trigger this repeater, which turns off this torch, which allows the items to drop into this hopper, which then feeds into that and into the top of the furnace. Actually, let me like this. That should be enough for one. Yes. Okay, so one charcoal goes like that, and that charcoal will come along here, out of here, into the bottom dropper, and we don't want that dirt there. And so now from this bottom hopper, I'm going to do a clock, a vertical, I'll do an item elevator. Sorry, I cannot talk today. Okay, so item elevator, like so, and we need a comparator, and I'm going to do an extended clock. Something a lot of people don't realize is you can put a block between the item, the inventory you are detecting, and the comparator, and it will still treat it as if it's looking directly at that inventory. So now what I have here is like so, just to not waste the redstone, because, you know, stone brick is cheaper than red. Where'd my redstone go? Come on. There it is. I hate when that happens. Okay, so when there is something in the dropper, which I think, yeah, it went up into the... Wow, it made it all the way up there. Okay, when there is an item in the dropper, it will trigger the comparator, which will trigger the repeater, which will send a redstone signal down this line, which will repulse the comparator if necessary. It will also activate this block and trigger the bottom dropper while turning off the torch, which as soon as it turns back on will trigger this dropper and this dropper, which somehow that actually works. And then this torch will then turn on and trigger that dropper, which will put the charcoal up into the top hopper. And thank you, Tango Tech, for explaining how hoppers work. This hopper is pointed into this chest, but downwards motion, a hopper sucking from the hopper below sucking from the top hopper takes priority over the top hopper pushing into the chest. So therefore, the charcoal, before it can make it into the chest, drops into this hopper and then down and goes into the furnace. Like, let me do it. Let me show you the complete way. So if it comes out of the furnace, put it in here, and it goes up and came around and back into the furnace. So we've already automated the entire charcoal process at this point. And like I said, for a normal system, this would be fine, but I had a few ideas on how to make this a little more server friendly. One of those things being preventing people from opening the charcoal chest when there still needs to be more charcoal created. So what I've decided to do was have a sticky piston here, which when there's either not enough charcoal in the chest or not enough logs in the hoppers above the furnace, it will block the top of the charcoal chest and not allow it to be opened. So people have to, at a minimum, put in some logs in order to get some charcoal out. Now, if the charcoal chest is completely full, I will also be detecting presence of charcoal in that hopper that goes into the chest, and that will also unpower that sticky piston. So give me a second to set that up, and I will come right back and explain how it works, because I can't talk and build this at the same time. Be right back. Okay, and I'm back again, and this may look more complicated than it is, so I'll go ahead and explain it. Down here we have a comparator that checks this hopper here, which is on top of the furnace. When this hopper has a certain number of logs in it, the comparator will send a signal out and it will come along this line. Now, it could have been shorter, but I made it this long for a reason. At any given time, I want there to be a spare of at least a stack and a half to 2.5 stacks of logs ready to be turned into charcoal. So this length of signal will make sure that by the time... Okay, I forgot to mention that. This repeater right here disables the hopper that pulls out of the logs chest. So when there are 2 stacks or more of logs in this hopper, it will stop pulling out of the log chest and leave the logs there for people to use. So not only is it a charcoal factory, but it will be a tree farm. I'll be adding that probably next episode because that would just make this a little bit too long of an episode, and I still want to make this thing look nice. So this comparator down here detects if there are enough logs in the system. This comparator up here, which is farther away, actually, yeah, it's actually the same distance. But this comparator up here detects if there is an overflow of charcoal. As you can see, I can't open the charcoal chest. It checks if there's an overflow of charcoal. If the charcoal chest fills up and there's enough charcoal to fill, I think it's 2 slots in this hopper, that will be enough power on the comparator to come over and disable that the pulling of logs out of the log chest. Now, the one part I haven't mentioned yet is this right here, this extra repeater. This repeater off to the side here, which actually I'm going to add an extra tick just because I feel like it, is the repeater that disables the piston and allows people to pull out of the charcoal chest. And the way it does that is, as you can see, it actually allows access to the charcoal chest before either of these comparators locks the logs. And the reason I did that is, if with as far as it is, if it reaches this repeater by that time, there's enough spare logs in there. It should be about 2 stacks. I think to disable pulling out of the log chest, it's about 2.5 stacks. So it should be about 2 stacks, or 64, a stack and 48, I think, or close to it. And that will allow the charcoal to be pulled out. Or if the charcoal chest is full, then obviously we want charcoal to be able to be pulled out. And we don't want to smelt anymore if the charcoal chest is full, because we don't want to overfill the system and then clog all the droppers. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole system. I don't know if anybody else has done a design like this. I haven't seen it. I actually did spend a few hours in my test world coming up with this concept on my own. If somebody else came up with it, please show me their video. I'd love to see if they came up with a way to make it more compact. But so now what I want to do is add some finishing touches. Unfortunately, Camera Studio has not updated to 1.6.4 yet, or I would do a time lapse of me putting the finishing touches on, probably from a perspective of right about here, just watching me do it. But as it is, that mod has not been updated yet. So I am, whoops. So I'm going to see what I can do. I'm going to talk, I guess, a little bit about my plans for this series. I am really looking forward to this series. It's going to be a lot of fun. Got some great people on the server. Guys have already been talking about wanting to do some mini games and miscellaneous other stuff, so I'm really looking forward to seeing where we go with this. The community is pretty awesome, actually. Alright, let me get to the right screenshot. There we go. Okay, so I had... what did I do? This. Yes, I took a screenshot of the build in my test world because I got it looking pretty decent as far as what I'm used to being capable of building. So I'm pretty happy with the design I came up with. I think I want to maybe add some different materials besides just stone brick, because just stone brick can get a little overwhelming. But for now, I'm pretty happy with it. And there is one additional touch that I will be adding. Right like that. Let me check my screenshot here. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so I need one more redstone torch. Like so. And what I'll do here is that, and torch there, dust here. So when the piston is extended, the redstone lamp will be turned off. And this will indicate that there's either not enough logs in the system, or not enough charcoal in the system, or something like that. And we're going to go like this. Oops, that's not right. We'll go like that, that. And I would appreciate any design pointers anybody has, because I am more of an automation and redstone person and less of a builder. I wish I could do like Etho and be a master of all aspects of the game, but I'm not that good at PvP. I'm marginally decent at building. I'm a lot better than I used to be, but I'm still not that great. Oh wait, I'm not doing that way. I remember now. Yeah. So I'm not that great at building. I'm pretty decent at the automation. I really like inventing stuff. Now a lot of things in vanilla are not really unique. Let's see, oh, did I use up all the... I used up all the logs. Okay. I wanted one. That's alright, I'll plant a tree. So, we're gonna have this here. Block of coal there. So, I'm leaving the tooltips on... Whoop. I'm leaving the NEI tooltips on, and yes, I do have not enough items installed. It does not allow me to cheat. Don't worry, anybody that's thinking that, it is recipe mode. I'm not an op on this server, and even if I was, I would have it forced to always be in recipe mode. But as someone who has not played vanilla in a while, it is really useful to be able to look things up and just click and see what the recipe is. And actually, I'll be needing rails fairly soon. But anyway, so a log will go here to indicate that that is the chest for logs to go into. And I have signs here that I will be placing like so. And all right, good. So you know what, let me plant a few saplings real quick so that I can get that log when the trees grow. And so next episode I'll be working on a tree farm. It unfortunately is going to have to be a manual. Oh, go away. It's going to have to be a manual tree farm for now. I just started on the server. I don't have the kind of resources to build anything automated, and I haven't actually attempted a fully as fully automatic as it can be in vanilla. I haven't attempted a tree farm yet. I like the idea of the sand and piston crazy mega design that I've seen before, but those are very resource expensive and very, very complicated. They take a lot of space. But now that we've got this in place, let me go ahead and get some more stone brick and get up here. Do I still? Yes, I have dirt. Good. Yay, as Zisto calls it, scaffolding. So, I gotta go like this, this. That. Yeah, that's right. And the same on this side. Sorry, throat is a little clogged. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with it, but yeah, as you can probably tell, I don't sound the greatest. I guess whatever Graph has, I must have caught it through Skype. Actually, seasonal, not allergies. I'm not actually allergic to anything, but I do get clogged when the weather starts to change, temperatures and things like that. So sorry, I'm probably gonna have a messed up voice for next couple episodes, but I will do my best to. Let's see, is that right? Yeah, that's right. I will do my best to enunciate and speak as clearly as I can. Whoops. And try not to confuse anybody. We'll see what happens. Alright. And so, yes, I need design pointers. I am far from being skilled at design. And I'm happy with the amount of progress I have made in getting better at design, but I'm still not a builder. At least I wouldn't consider myself to be a builder. But, you know, other people may disagree, or they may agree. I don't know. Alright, so that. Now, let's take a look at the progress so far. That's about like my screenshot, minus the log in the middle. And so you know what? I am about half hour into this portion of the recording, which means it's going to be a little bit longer episode. I don't want to end the episode without finishing off the building, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it here, and I will be right back to take out the end of the episode. Uh-oh. All these zombies every stinking night in the game. Why did they have to add the zombie horde? I mean, I guess it sort of makes sense, but, you know. Oh, and now I'm on fire. Woohoo! Thank you, Mojang. So, yeah, I have basically finished the roof of the building, which, let me get up there. I'm not sure what I think about it, but it looked decent enough in my test world, so I'm going to go with it. And it's all slabs, so I don't have to worry about mobs spawning, and I don't have to light it up on top, which is just, you know, one wonderful thing. I like to build buildings, build structures that mobs cannot spawn on. And it actually looks like I have somehow, I don't even know how, managed to make the structure more compact than it was in my test world, or not the structure itself, but the automation system seems to be more compact than it was in my test world. In my test world, I actually needed this much space on the roof, and as you can see, yeah, I've got some extra. So I'm not sure where that came from. I also was in my test world right up to the edge on both sides. So somehow I've managed to make the mechanical aspects of the build smaller, and I have no idea how, but I am more than happy to go with it. The only thing is the building would look a little weird if it was crushed forward. I actually tried and it didn't look good. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up these walls, but you don't need to see that because that is one of the boring parts. So I will come back next time, and I'm not sure exactly how I want to do it yet. I'm not sure if I want to come off here, or my original plan was to have some kind of staircase down from this platform over that direction for a tree farm. But since that building is going away, I may just either... Well, I don't really want to have a path over there. I want to have the tree farm contained as part of this system, so that to leave the tree farm, people have to come past here to put more logs in, so that the system can continue to create charcoal. As you can see, I have added more logs, but it's still not at a point where it's willing to let charcoal out. And now I am going to probably also come in here and fill in some of the gaps around the chests and things, so that the light and whatever else doesn't get through in the front. Another thing I had considered and even tested a little bit in my test world is adding a hopper to the bottom of the donations chest and making that happen that way. So we'll have to see what happens there. But yeah, I'm going to call this the end of the episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to playing a lot more vanilla. Hopefully making a lot more automated builds. Tree farm will be next time. So I hope you enjoyed the episode. I will see you next time. And have a great day.